snare. Snare. Bass head problems, guys. What you doing, Dale? Oh, hang on. Anyway, guys, gals, and Malrines, this here's been working on Clangalang. Reason we're calling it Clangalang right now is because this thing's literally tearing itself apart. Bass head problems. Let me show you what we got going on. Miller's just cleaned this up right here. We're going to put a new strip of LEDs up here. I'm gonna make some changes on the names on the back of this car, and I'll explain that here in a minute. We'll go ahead and explain it now. So, Ryan team control pressure staying on the car. Duck ain't loud for damn sure is gonna stay on the car, but Duck is loud as a motherfucker when he wants to be, leaving Kenny on. That's coming off. That's coming off. I'm gonna leave Deb on there because she ain't got nothing to do with this shit. Deb did a good job on epoxy. Jerry Jacob's the worst wiring guy I've ever seen on a car in my life. Not his crimps and shit like that, but just throwing RCAs anywhere thinking it's going to work fine on your mids and highs amps. And let me explain how this went. He burned up not 1 amp, not 2 amps. Yeah, wait, he burned up 2 amps, an alternator, a voltage regulator from Brand X, brand new, burned it all up at the same time. Well, different times. Like I said, Jerry, the Golden Dragon amps are made to run 4 ohm. He wires them down to 1 and they blow, and he goes, "Oh, what happened?" So I give him the amp. Then he hooks the tympano up, wires it too low. Bam, what happened? It's your wiring, dude. So me and Jerry I don't have nothing to do with him anymore. But I'm going to clear the air. There's been people asking me what's happened between, I don't hear Jerry no more, blah, blah, blah. He don't know what he's doing. That's a fact. And I don't know how in the hell he's got a job with DS18. I really don't. So that's just my 2 cents. And I'm going to explain something he got into the other day about tweeters. All right, so he was like, yeah, you don't want to run these bullet tweeters at the doors. Well, when they're down low like that, yeah, you do, because they're down low. If you got them in your ear right here or up high, yeah, you don't want them down there or up here. I got silk domes up here, soft dome silk right here, and that's a 3.5 inch DS18 I got from Duck. They're killer. I like these. But the tympano stuff, the reason we run the stuff down low is when you shut the door like that, it keeps the pressure from tearing up the speakers. People's poking their hands through them and tearing them up. Milk cartons has went through them. Over here, there hasn't been a problem because we get out of this side. Over here, you can see where the speaker's been repaired multiple times. And I got a name for the car. I named it myself last night, and Miller can name it what he wants to when he wants to, but this is what we're starting with, and I'm going to tell you why. But down here you can see these things have been popped and busted. It's just because people's tearing them up and putting creases in them, and then the pressure blows them out. We're naming this car the Rumble Turd. And the reason we're calling it that is because people think because this is a little car, it's a turd. They're like, oh, it's a little piece of shit Scion. Well, this little piece of shit Scion runs every day. We're not afraid to drive at 800 miles. We're not afraid to drive at 400 miles. It goes. We drive it every day. If I'm not driving it, Miller drives it. It don't leak no shit on the ground. No. It's fine. Perfect. This is a salvage title car. Because I wasn't going to buy a brand new car and it be tore all to hell from vibration. And when you say vibration, what you mean? Well, I'm going to show you. This thing is rattling the guts out from under it, guys. We've done this a couple times. See where Miller threw the stuff. That's what's left of the bottom of the car. It rattled this shit apart. True story. That's what I said. I don't think people realize how strong this car is. You're going to find out at the shows, because this is weak power in my book. We got amps that's going in this car. Is going to blow your mind when you see what we're putting in here. You go, son of a bitch, they ain't playing. No, we're not playing. We're going to redo the LEDs today. I'm removing the Jerry off my shit. I paid for it. He can tell you his side of the story all day. I don't give a damn, but believe me, don't trust him, what he's saying. He tried to say I didn't pay, but I paid up front. Gave him several cash advances. Then he thinks I need to pay him more for wiring, which that was part of the deal. Not to mention he shitted Duck on money. I told Duck about that. I said, oh, you didn't get your half? No. Not the same amount. Just shady. So, no, I don't like Jerry. I'll talk to him. I've talked to him before and shook his hand and he didn't say a word. Just looked at me like I was a damn moron or something, which that's fine. Well, you don't say nothing. These subs, let me explain what's going on with this car. I reached out to several companies and made some phone calls. These people, some of them knew who I was, some didn't. And, you know, one conversation started out a little rough, kind of really right off the bat. And I was like, that's weird. And then after we got talking, everything was fine. But what I'm going to do here is we got a sub that's popped in the back. The sub still plays. It'll play. It'll still play. It runs fine. No amps are shorted, nothing. It just busted the cone. The former went directly through the cone. It just pushed all the way through. It's just pressure, guys. That's just too much pressure. So I called Fi. I told him, I said, I want a 4th sub. They're so far behind. They said, man, Nolan, it's going to be a while, because it takes a while to make these motors. They're all water jet coated and shit like that internally. And he said, man, it's going to take a while, dude. I said, well, just send me carbon fiber recone. We're going to put it in here, and I'm going to try to upgrade these paper cones before I go ahead and switch them to carbon fiber, because here's the deal. If I get a carbon fiber cone, and I'm trying to help everybody here. We're going to put a carbon fiber upgrade on that one in the back. And people's going, well, it ain't going to match. Well, it doesn't make a shit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something with these. I'll show you what I'm doing. We're going to pull them out. And I like these subs. Miller likes these subs. They sound great, right, Mill? Yep. They sound killer. And they perform, guys. Everybody gets in here and says, this son bitch bad. Surprises a lot of people, and this is on low power. So I told Fi, I said, well, I'm gonna step it up, guys. We're on low power. So they suggested the carbon fiber upgrade, and Paul's gonna do some extra gluing and shit in places that will sturdy it up. But I'm gonna try something myself. Cause on these two, because if I pop the paper, I'm gonna have to upgrade the cone anyway. So it ain't gonna avoid no warranty. Because that's going to be abuse anyway, you know, pretty much. So I did order a 5 recone, and it's called a HC Plus. Now, this is the only set in the world. There's another guy that's running a set of MT 4 slugs, but this is the only set of HCs in the world right now. I think they want to go to this, but guys, I don't have any of the specs on any of this. I don't know the power limits. I don't know anything. So I'm kind of trying to just throw it to it and see what it does. But right now, they are getting some strong power, but in my book, that's low power. So I reached out to several companies, made some phone calls. I think some people thought I might have been full of shit, but the company that's going to send subs Monday, they already sent them out. I'll name that company when they show up, and I'm going to tell you that company went above and beyond. Fi has too, as far as they reached out to me after I placed the order, and made me a killer deal on these speakers. And I said, okay, but the agreement was not to say what they were, like the price, and I won't until they say go ahead. So that's remaining secret. These were all signed by everybody that built them. I love the subs, man, but I can't have it sitting here and not. Fi's behind big time. They told me they were behind, and that's fine. I get it, man. You know, when you start making good products, you're gonna have supply and demand, you know, and there's not enough people to do it. Fi's not a real huge company, and you know, these are personally hand built. So anyway, it's taken a little bit of time. So I reached out to several places. I liked what I heard from several places. But what was the game changer is one particular company, and you'll see it probably Monday or Tuesday. I'll reveal that stuff. They gave me a deal that I would be a dumbass not to take right off the get-go. I mean, I'm not on any teams. Miller's not on any teams. We're not doing that team shit, because that's where all this kissing ass comes from, and people, you know. I like MB. I watched his stuff. I put one of his videos up. I like what he does on some things. But man, he caters to DD and kickers so much. He's got a biased opinion. And I'll explain the reason the sub we got. He even proved his biased opinion doesn't work when the speaker speaks for itself. And I'll get into that. If you watch his videos, he told on himself, really. But he did tell on himself. So that's fine. And I told him I liked what he was doing on the tariff deal. So what we're going to do is these will be changed out temporarily. I'm going to be running another set of subs, a different brand. And we're going to turn this thing up. I'm talking serious turning it up. And we're going to see what them subs will do. I'm going to first see if they'll handle what's in the back. And I'll know if they do, that I'll have to change to an MT line on these. I can't really compare these to the other ones quite yet, because they're just two different beasts, but I'm not changing tuning in this box. I'm changing subs, and whatever subs do the best for what we're doing is what we're going to put in the car. And what we're looking for is, once we find a good sub and I prove what this car does, my intent is for these companies to reach out to us and say, hey, would you put our name on your car? Absolutely. You give us the shit for free. But I'm not doing it unless it's free. We're not going to have a rolling billboard here for everybody and people to sit in and come off my pocketbook and my son's pocketbook. They're going to have to pay us some way, which will be with equipment for us to advertise. I'll talk all day about how good subs are. But for me to put shit on this car, because we're going to put a wrap on it, make it cool. It's going to be called the Rumble Turd, because people thought this car was a turd. They still think so for some reason. Just because you don't see the top flopping around, it ain't going to flop. It doesn't mean anything. This car is very stout. I mean, for real. We took the bar out. The bar's getting powder coated because all that pressure's blowing the paint off. No, it's just getting chips in it. So I'm having Derek from Derek's Powder Coating do it, and he's awesome. He does great work. And we took out all the stuff from underneath the car. It's just rattling apart under there, and it was getting on our nerves. The only sticker on this car is JS alternator. They give me my alternators now. If I have any problems, they fix them. They don't have a problem. I got a spare in the house, still running the same two that we had to start with. But if we're going to put any more stuff, I told Miller, no free advertisement unless companies want to give us shit. And they'll want to when the car proves itself. And if they don't, that's fine. I don't need support. I'm going to be honest. I told the company it's going to send me to other subs. I said, guys, listen. And they gave me their personal phone number and reached back to me. And I said, guys, listen, I call it like a referee do. I'm going to be the most honest referee. We're not going to lie. We're going to tell the truth. And if it hurts feelings, like Jerry's probably gonna be mad about this video, I don't give a shit. It costs me money, a lot of money. So he might think he got ripped, but no, I'm the person, and my son's the one that got ripped, and we had to come back and redo the whole damn car, replace amps for free. I actually give him the amp that he blowed up. I give it to Jerry. Here, you can have it. But he's riding around with my Bruce Lee's in the back of Julian, the black car, and that's not his shit. I'm told him he can test them, and he thinks that he just owns them because he thinks I owe him something. And everybody knows I don't owe nobody shit. No, that's why I'm friends with Duck. Me and Duck get along great. Duck's doing a build for me right now for a buddy of mine, and he's going to continue to do stuff for us. So that's why I said I recommend Duck for your enclosure build and somebody that's going to stick to their word and do the shit and do the job. If Duck wouldn't have been on that car and all them other people busting their ass, this car would have never made it to the first show. And the reason being, Jerry thought it was more important to go to Jeep Jam. He thought, after I paid him a year before. So that pissed me off, man. Kind of made me mad. I'm like, so you're gonna go to Jeep Jam for 2 days and then make me and Duck and everybody else stay up 2 or 3 in the morning while you're at Jeep Jam? He didn't know that, I don't think. So that day forward, I was like, man, I'm ripping JL off the back of the car. I had it on the amps back there. Jerry wanted to put it on. I said, no problem. That's why I pulled it off. That's why I changed names. Jerry named the car Chucky Lee. What was it, Chucky? Norris. Chucky Norris. But the car's going to be called Rumble Turd because my dad used to call rice burners tumble turds. Rumble Turd, that's the name. You guys take care. Have a good day. We're going to finish up some LEDs. Miller's got to go to work. We'll take this other stuff out tomorrow. When the new subs come in, I'll do a video. It's going to be killer. You guys take care.